Hello and welcome to Friday Focus. I'm Stacy Ruth, and I'm glad you're here. Today, we're going to look at 7 simple steps to a successful personal brand. Everyone has a personal brand. That's a given. Unfortunately, not everyone knows how to build a successful one that elevates our visibility, attracts the right clients and opportunities, and grows our impact. Instead, many people find their personal brand is actually working against them. There's a lot of confusion about the difference between business brands, influencer brands, and personal brands. This today is a quick overview of the step-by-step, simple path to your most effective personal brand, which is the foundation for both influencer and business brands. I'm going to invite you to keep in mind it is equally vital for leaders and executives to have a personal brand, even those who have no interest in building an online business or a social presence. It's important to still invest executives' personal brand development time. That's because a personal brand is the ticket to attracting all the opportunities and partners and opportunities to serve others that helps us grow in the way that we envision. Step 1 to establishing your personal brand is to establish your core values. Core values are unique and personal to you. We aren't talking about family values. We're talking about what lights you up. What are the adjectives that people would use to describe you? What are your priorities, the ones you give your time and attention to? All of these can be wrapped up, believe it or not, into just 3 or 4 words that are your core values. Your core values are the essence of who you are. And none of us are taught this principle in school. In fact, we give it very little thought for much of our lives. But when we get really clear about what our core values are, we start living in alignment with them. We stand up taller. We know where to focus. And decisions get easier, believe it or not. We embody those values in every conversation and action. And what's more, we attract opportunities and relationships that help us be even more of what those values represent. If you aren't sure what your core values are, grab a free copy of my core values worksheet that's on the website unstoppable-leader.com. Find out what they are now. It's a great beginning for the freedom personal branding gives you. Step 2 is craft your brand vision. A brand vision is written similar to a mission statement in the present tense, as if you've already accomplished whatever you're setting out to do. It's clear and it paints a vivid picture. A well-written brand vision statement helps you consciously move from your current state to where you would like to be. One classic formula for a brand statement follows this template. I help blank do blank. For example, an executive might say, I help manufacturing organizations improve their processes to reduce waste and grow profits. Or an artist might say, I help inspire people with beauty to surround them and lead their best lives. A coach might say, I help ensure leaders lean into their growth edge by asking the right, powerful questions. Leadership begins with communicating your why. So does branding. As author Simon Sinek says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Step 3 is decide what you want to be known for. It's impossible to be known for your job title or your business model by itself. Other artists, authors, speakers, coaches, and so on are everywhere. That's not to say it's impossible to be known and stand out. Standing out is the whole point of personal branding. Think of it this way. If you became known as the world's go-to expert on your specific topic, what would that be? The only way to create a compelling personal brand is by becoming a recognized authority in a particular niche. Research the competition in that market and determine how you will differentiate yourself. Ask yourself, what makes me unique? For instance, as a coach, I focus on women leaders in transition with a specialty in intuitive decision-making and busting through imposter syndrome. I know those areas all too well from personal experience. I understand the full spectrum of leadership challenges as well, from change management to time management, and yes, relationship management. But I focus on key decisions in transition. By leveraging your special gifts, you will be more likely to stand out from the crowd. Your personal brand should be an accurate reflection of your passions, skills, experiences, values, and beliefs. Step 4 is to define your audience. One of the worst mistakes you can make as you build a personal brand is attempting to appeal to everyone. Another is believing that because you are operating inside a larger organization, that you don't have an audience to serve. That's why it's so crucial to define your audience clearly. Some call that a niche, but if you are inside an organization, it might be your boss, or it could be a future team. Whom do you want to serve? What do they love? What do they struggle with, which might or might not be directly related to your work? How can you specifically help them get where they want to go? Because ultimately, brands are about serving others and helping others. Never forget that. A valuable exercise is to create your target audience profile, or also known as avatar. The more you understand your audience, the better prepared you will be to deliver the solutions that they want and need, and that will help you grow in the direction you want to go. To understand your audience, download my free target audience worksheet, also available under tools on the unstoppable-leader.com website. Step 5 is develop a consistent message. What message do you want to consistently reinforce in your content and perhaps your marketing? Once you decide what it is, use that same message across all your communication channels. Consistency builds both trust and credibility with your audience. And when I say across all channels, that may be within an organization. In addition to keeping your tone and your personality the same, you can use any kind of visuals, including your wardrobe as well. Finding your unique voice and staying true to it is one of the keys to creating a powerful personal brand. That brings us to step 6, which is be authentic. Your personal brand is not something that you put on and take off. It's not an invention. It must be authentically you or it won't work. Once you are clear on your values and have figured out whom and how you can serve, then embracing that uniqueness absolutely attracts attention. Others will begin to seek you out specifically for your views and insights. People want to interact with other people, and that means being real, including being vulnerable and sharing perhaps even tough lessons you have learned along the way. Who are you every single day? The more authentic you make your personal brand, the more likely others will resonate with your brand. The more they resonate, the more they will trust you. Ultimately, effective brands have established a level of trust that is difficult to break. That brings us to step 7, create your style and content. Too many brands jump immediately to this step, number 7, creating style and content, but skipping steps 1 through 6. I understand they're too eager to create what I call the shiny stuff, like a logo or a website if they have a business, or to start lobbying for that raise or promotion before they've established themselves in an organization. An effective step 7 is only possible if you have done the work of steps 1 through 6. Your style and content are a reflection both of who you are and, now this is interesting, who you aspire to become. And that's a fine line to walk, and it takes careful thought and consideration. Your values and vision are who you are. You might be serving your target audience, or it might be that your target audience is who you aspire to become. You probably have heard of dressing for the role you want to get, and that's exactly what your content and style are about. So if you aren't already an expert in your topic, study it and share what you learn from other experts who are ahead of you. Gain your content by affiliation, but add your own insights along the way. Align yourself with similar brands. For an example, an artist might align herself with interior decorators or feng shui designers. A leadership coach might align herself with a change expert or an Enneagram specialist. And a mid-level manager might join an executive women's leadership group and read books by top women leaders. And now I'm going to give you a bonus step. Step 8, build your presence. These days, it isn't easy to have a compelling personal brand without an online presence. That doesn't mean you must be on every possible channel or that online is the only way to grow personal brand visibility. It's just the fastest way. You can grow your brand through networking, blogging, writing a book, speaking professionally, and much more. There are 3 things, however, to remember about building your brand presence, especially when it comes to online. First, it takes consistency over time. And no matter what anybody tells you, there are no magical overnight methods. Second, online brand building alone isn't enough unless you're an influencer selling affiliate marketing. At some point, the rest of us must connect with a human being. A bunch of followers on a social platform is meaningless until you move from anonymous followers to a face and a name that's interacting with you. And third, lastly, presence isn't about the numbers. It is about who is in the room and the impact you are making. Look, these steps are simple, but they still take focused attention, a strategy, and an end goal in mind. If you need help doing that, I encourage you to book a discovery call with me to see where you can focus for the greatest impact on your personal brand. Also, look for my upcoming personal branding masterclass. It's coming out soon. Thank you and have a great weekend.